Greetings, Evans. Someone recently had asked about the destiny and the possibility of creation. Then, what is the possibility of creation and manifestation? So, does it mean that we are just a puppet in the hands of life? On a very larger term and a very deeper term, if you look at everything, yes, it's a grid in which you are. But there is something called a free will also. But it's like a free play that you have, but you have its limitations. You cannot have 100% free play and 100% free will. You check it out in any possible way. Nobody in history has had 100% free will where they whatever they want 100% they have been able to manifest, however powerful their manifestors they have been. Why have they not been able to change completely their destiny, or why uh, only with certain limitation they have been able to do that? That shows their free play. So on a larger term, we are described by our prarabdha, because otherwise there is no thing like, if I can just manifest and create anything that I want, then I do any nonsense I want, and when I'm done with my nonsense, I then decide, okay, now let me clean up the slate and then just manifest everything goody goody for me. So would it mean that the past what I have done is going to go off, or it will have no influence in my future and present? No, certainly it's definitely going to have influence, because that's what cause and effect clearly is. Karma is all about. So on a larger frame, if you see, we are all controlled by our own karmas. Obviously we have forgotten about it, because this is all involving previous janmas. So we are actually replaying the sanskaras, or we are replaying that karmic consequence with or without our knowledge. So here also, even if you do not know the larger picture, you will see that you are certainly bound in certain ways. Like for example, I'll give you in Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, there is the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Dosha. So we know what that is all about. If not, you can just Google it out and find out. So if you are supposed to have a Vata dosha or Vata Prakriti, they say, that's you are a windy person. And if you have a Kapha, or if you have a Pitta dosha, and if your Prakriti is Pitta, means you are acidic, and your nature will be acidic, and your body will be acidic. You will easily be succumb to acidity and all those things. So that's the Pitta dosha. So if your Prakriti, once you find out your Prakriti, you will come to know that that Prakriti has been forever with you in this lifetime. You are designed that way, and if you ask your physician or anybody to change your Prakriti completely, they will say it's not possible. You are born with that Prakriti, so you are going to carry that Prakriti. All that you can do is balance it whenever it goes out of balance. So every time you have to take care that you have a Pitta dosha, and the Pitta Prakriti is there, and accordingly you will have to behave. You cannot go against the nature's law and eat anything that you want or behave anything that you want. It will have immediate effects on your body and mind. So there you have to take care, and then you have to adapt yourself. That adaptation is your free will. How you adapt to it, how much you can do, that's a limited space. That's called your free play. You can play around with that, and you can have a control over that, and you can play around just with that, but you can't change the larger picture. Same way in life also. For another example, if there is a born musician, he has the nature of music in him. So anywhere he goes, whatever he does, you will see that his Prakriti is that he will behave that way, and he will be inclined. Any profession he will go, he will be inclined. For example, me, if I take my life, I have had this nature of teaching, sharing, and all these things right from childhood, school days, college days, my professional days, working days. I have seen this. It has been very prominent in me, and I never knew about this. And even in my spiritual days, even currently, if you see, this is my nature. So by nature I am this. What brings my nature? My prarabdha. This is the root of my existence. So it's coming from my past. So I cannot do anything in this. Even if I try to forget this nature of mine and try to do anything else, there also I will inhibit this kind of a quality. So this nature is going to be with me, but I can play around. Maybe I can choose this teaching ability or this talent to become a professor or a teacher or a coach or a guide or a mentor or anything in this field. But it will be, again, this is my free play. I can choose and run around in this. But the larger picture, the nature is going to stay with me, whatever I do. So that is how we are bound by the karma, and the what we call as free will is very limited. But yes, manifestations are possible in this, and whatever manifestations we call about is all in this free play. That's all. So we cannot have a larger change, or we cannot go and change our entire life or anything. Like, I cannot say that, I am this, and let me, if my height is 5.5, I cannot say that, let me manifest a 6 height, or if my age is supposed to be like I'm going to live till 80, I cannot say that let me make it 120. I may do it, but that again depends on how much the cause and effect is, whether my karmic consequence will allow that. I may make an attempt, that's a different story, that's in my free play. Whatever I do, I might try, I might make an attempt, but on the larger scale it will depend on this foundation of whether I am eligible for it or not. And that is where we have limitations. So that keeps us humble. It's nothing to be perturbed about. It keeps us humble, and we know that we are not God. We cannot go beyond and do anything that we want. Like Alexander tried to do everything. He had so many desires, and where did he fulfill all that? He had the warrior in him. That was his prakriti. So he had his limitation, but he tried to exploit and go beyond it. He cannot. Whoever it is, the cause and effect plays a major role. So what we can do in this life is identify that prakriti, and even if we know, and even if we do not know, we can always make attempts to manifest and things, and in our attempts and in our aims, in the way we do it, we will come to know how much we are. First of all, there are so many factors, I'm telling you, and this is what we discussed in Kanjangad retreat, and we did this manifestation practice also, because for manifestation there is a very simple rule. It's not so complicated, once as you feel, only if you know the art of being in the present moment, because creation and manifestations happen only in the present moment. So if you can empty yourself, and if you can enter into deep awareness, for that awareness is very much important, because awareness makes you neutral and takes you to the central zone. It brings you totally in the present. So in the present, whatever you vibrate, whatever you feel in the moment, and feeling that you have already received it. This is the secret that Jesus Christ shared in the Bible, which is not very famous. He said, whatever you want to have in life, believe that you have already received it and you shall have it. The meaning is that until you come to the present moment, completely neutral, you cannot believe that you have it. You will always otherwise linger in the future. Anytime you want to create, you will be thinking, I am going to have it, or let me have it. That's a future tense. But you will have to come to the center and believe and feel and completely vibrate that you already have it. That's simple secret of law of attraction or manifestation. If you know this, you know everything. As simple as that. But now, despite knowing these secrets, why are we not able to create? Despite knowing all this, because life will not allow you to come to the present, because that depends on your quota of karma, your psychic, and your nature, your prakriti, because that will make you chanchal. Nischalta zarurat hai. You have to become complete still, and only in stillness those things can happen. Clarity can come. So the whole idea, again, what I'm trying to tell you is this stillness, nischalman, bringing it to stillness and neutrality, and that, to achieve that, awareness is a very powerful tool. So whether you bring into awareness and balance your life and live very neutrally through this whole life without being affected, glide through life, or you can use that to bring it to stillness and concentrate and find and become aware of what you are and what you are, what your desires are, and now you can really finish it off here in the most easy and simple way. Or you can become aware of who you really are, who am I, and become aware of your final goal and go. So all these things, whatever it is, the ultimatum is becoming aware. Completely becoming aware, that brings you to the stillness, that brings you to neutrality, that brings you clarity of what you want in life, what you're supposed to do, what you can do, what you cannot do, and your limitations All these things it will show you so that you can work on. And then unwanted desires, unwanted things in life which otherwise clutter your mind. If you are not in awareness, you will simply run behind vasanas, because you will be controlled completely by your mind, and your mind will tell, I am this, I want that, which may not be really what you want. So if you are having a confused mind, if you are not living in awareness, you can end up desiring for things and then end up trying to create, or actually create, and then suffer the consequences of it, and later say that I didn't want this. So awareness brings lot of clarity. Awareness brings humility. It will know that I am not this God. You might say I am Shiva, but you cannot say I can do anything that I am Shiva. That's a different arrogant attitude. That's why Bhagavan Nityananda in Chedakasha Gita says, instead of saying Aham Brahmasmi, say that Brahma is in all. Instead of saying I am Shiva, that can create pride and arrogance, he says. So he says, see Shiva in all. Shiva is in there, Shiva is in here, Shiva is in me. So this makes us very humble, and this the basic thing, very powerful thing I'm revealing to you. But all the mystics live in this manner. If you understand this, then you can, instead of getting disappointed, oh, I don't have a manifesting capability or anything, you will understand you do have, but then you will put only into value into what you really want, and you will not get carried away with all your mind activities. So even in that free play, you can make it a beautiful, like for example, I am having this kind of a free play. I am having the options what I can do better in this area of life which I am destined to. So I know my destiny, I know my prarabdha, how it is playing. I have been watchful for a couple of times, because I have told this many times, what I wanted to do, what I really wanted, that never happened. What people around me also wanted to happen with me, or how they wanted me to be, that also never happened. What ultimately happened is what I never thought. Which means life leads you somewhere. There's a cosmic intelligence that knows what is destined for you, and whether we like it or not, it will take us there. Whether we do anything or not, it will take us there. That is the simple funda of being. Instead of doing means you are simply hitting your hand like without any use. You are wasting your time and energy. When your karma is taking you in some direction, or the pull is somewhere else, and you are all the time in the doership thinking I am doing, and there are so many catches again. It's a big deep thing again, the catch of karma, because with the doership and all that. So being, when you come into the being, you are able to relate with what's happening with you. You are able to see how life is the wind, where it is taking you, without you doing anything also. So whether you don't do anything also, that is the highest stage of manifestation, where you have realized the oneness, and you have realized the beauty of life, how life is taking you perfectly for the highest good of yourself and the highest good of all. So when you know life is going in the manner that is designed by some creator, by some cosmic intelligence, you just surrender to it with love, and you just glide through life. That's one option. Or if you want to make it a little more exciting, you can have a free play, but you stay humble. That I have limitations, so you are not very too much focused on that and too much bent upon to make it happen, and then get disappointed and all that. So these are very simple techniques and methods that I am revealing to you of the nature of the human mind and the nature of human life. If you like, you can always experiment these things and then follow and apply it to your life. Much divine love and light to you. Stay blessed.